3-point shots and
Oh,
we lost.
yeah.
That's when I was like, you know what, man?
That's all good.
I'm done with this. I'm done with this. I'm
Cause
done.
he makes up so much in other areas, man.
Yeah, well, not that year. He made up Jack. He
Yeah.
made up Jack that year. he he messed up the legacy of John Starks. He messed
Man.
up the legacy of Mark Jackson. I was mad. I was mad, bro.
Oh man.
I was in a foreign land. I was in a foreign land, man. Rocking everything New York City, man. And these dudes hung me out to dry. I was like, switch off his green light. How do you let somebody miss 21 points worth of threes in a few minutes
Yeah.
without switching off the light? Like,
Yeah.
tell him no more shots. Like, put him on the bench, B. And I have not recovered, man. I think I have a complex, Quest.
I don't know, man. Yeah. Well, I'm I'm not letting them go. I'm not letting them go.
As I said, you were a loyal dude. I
Yeah.
guess I'm not as loyal as I thought.
No, man. I'm not. These are my dudes.
Yeah.
The days of Mo Cheeks, Patrick Ewing, and Grant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mark Jackson, Charles Oakley,
Yeah.
John Starks. You know
Y'all
what
could
I'm
come in there. I remember I used to
saying?
go to the garden.
Trent Tucker.
Yeah, they used to say, yo, when you play in Detroit that them years, like it was a beef. Lamb beer sucks. Can you imagine being in the garden and
Ooh.
the whole garden is saying lamb
Oh,
beer sucks?
oh,
Beer sucks.
oh, they used to rough my man up. They used
What?
to
Let me
rough my
throw that ugly
remember
green
what's the name brother you would played for us too? Dominique brother, Eddie Lee Wilkins.
Wilkins. We thought it was Gerald. Who's
Gerald. It was Gerald. It was
yeah,
Gerald. But the other dude who played center alongside Patrick, Eddie Lee, and then there was a strong forward, Kiki Vandeweghe.
band away. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't care. I don't care no more. I don't care.
that's what you say now.
Dude, it's been more than 20 years. So I legit don't care no more.
I'm telling you, we shall overcome, bro.
That's what's wrong with y'all.
We shall overcome. I don't care what nobody say. We gonna win, bro. We
Well,
gonna win.
like I said, you're a loyal dude. I ain't mad at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what up, y'all? That's Quest. I'm me. And
What
in
up?
a moment, we're going to sound like we know what we're talking about, not about
Yeah.
basketball, because I don't care. Honestly, don't care about the NBA. I do not care anymore. I'm
Anymore.
over it.
I can't
Uh,
let it go.
we're going to talk about something we know for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, Quest, whenever you're ready, I'm going to go ahead and, get this thing started. You just let me know. And
Yeah.
when you let me know, I'm going to say something. And then,
Oh, this gonna be dope too, because Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving coming to the Knicks this anyway. Yeah, go ahead.
wait. Durant and Kyrie are going to be on the same team?
Kyrie and Durant. That's what they're saying right now are coming to the Knicks this year. It's gonna
Word?
be a problem in New York. It's gonna be a problem in New York. And I know Stephen A. and all of them got stuff to say. If bump them, I punch Stephen A. in his eye.
What,
I know
what,
all of them got
I
stuff to
want to know
say.
what
I don't
Spike got
care.
to say. What Spike
Yeah.
got to say? I want to know what Spike got to say.
Oh, he gonna love it.
Okay.
He gonna love it. Anything that has become a part of the New York structure, he's going to love. He's a Knicks fan, die hard, and I'm rocking with him.
Yeah. So as I was saying,
Yep.
yo, didn't Escalade pass away, bro?
That played in N1?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a little distracted. Escalade and one. I think homie passed, man.
I used to love watching N1. Them dudes is unbelievable.
News. That's what I got into. Once I gave up the NBA, that's what I got into. Because that's how we grew up anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, no diss. I think my man passed, man.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, not anyway, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, no doubt.
Um,
Condolences to his family, man.
mm-hmm.
Never want to see anybody pass away.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
ED. Yeah.
Doug Christie.
Huh?
Hubert Davis.
You still
I forgot all about them dudes, man. Derek Harper,
Harper.
who used to play what's his name? J.R. Reed. J.R. Reed.
J.R. Reed.
Yep. Man, we had some players come through there. Anthony Mason.
I'm all late, man. Homie passed a while back, years. But I'm just kind of thinking about it because we talking about, you know.
Yeah.
Son is our age too. Was our age too.
I'm telling you, brother. He was a big cat too. It was unbelievable.
6'9", 450 pounds, 500 pounds.
And that brother could move that 400 pounds too. And you better get out the way when he coming through, else it's gonna be a splash. I remember watching Escalade move, bro. They couldn't stop him. If he dropped that spin move on you and go to the hole, good
Don't
luck.
be in the way. Don't be in the way. Yeah. All right. So
and dunk it on your head. Let's go.
Quite in the set. Let's get into it. Hey, yo, Quest, it's time to give the people something, man. What we talking about today?
What up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the Marriage Ain't for Suckers podcast. I am your host with the most, Quest, alongside my man, my man, ladies and gentlemen, L. David Harris. And MC. Yep.
Class is in session.
You already know what it is, man. Shouts out to everybody who's tuned in and listening to the podcast today, man. As always, man, I'm just loving it, D. I remember maybe about a month and a half ago, I wasn't so happy because of the weather. We in full summer mode right now. You know what I'm saying? The temperature's back up again. I took a nice bike ride. Shouts out to My Brother's Keeper, you know what I'm saying, bike club. You feel me?
Like
Riders Club. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Motorcycle Ministry, you know what I'm saying? We decided to take a ride up into the country parts of Georgia on Sunday, North Carolina on Sunday. About an hour and 15 out. It's about 7 or 8 of us who showed up for the ride. And yeah, man, it was a wonderful ride up, wonderful ride back. And of course, I ride second to pole position. So I look in my mirror every now and then. It's a beautiful sight to see all of them bike lights behind you. But yeah, man, shouts out to them, the weather. Shouts out to the creator. Shouts out to God, man, for just allowing us to, like, for real, the seasons are to be appreciated. I just don't appreciate winter. I don't want nothing to do with it.
You're confusing me. Which is it? Which is it?
I know that that's something that you, but in a minute, I'm not going to be, you know what I'm saying, feeling this way because I'm going further south.
Okay. I hear you.
Short period. So, but yeah, man, nonetheless, lovely weekend. I want to remember all of those who are in the military, if you will. I want to thank them for their service as they do what they do in order to keep everything safe. Those who have passed away in the line of duty.
God bless the memory of the dead, man.
Yep. Our condolences go out to the families of those veterans who have lost their lives in the line of duty, as well as those veterans who have faithfully served the country as well. Yeah, shouts out to y'all, man. Memorial Day is definitely that day to remember. And we just want to say from the bottom of the hearts of those that thank God I'm married. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Yes, indeed. So how things on that end, man?
You know, life is life. You
I knew
already,
that.
I
Yeah, I
think
already knew.
I'm gonna write a dub on that. Life
Yeah,
is
yeah, no doubt. Ain't nobody mad with the devil. But yeah, man. Thankful that I'm just thankful for a number of things, D. While things don't always work out the way that we expect for them to work out,
hmm
they work out the way that they're supposed to work out.
hmm
And they
hmm
may not look the way we want them to look in the beginning, but they always happen the way that they're supposed to. Why? Because all things work together
mm.
for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. And I'm so glad that we are called according to his purpose and we get the opportunity to talk about this thing called marriage that we so love to talk about. You feel
Mhm.
me? That he holds with high esteem. So
Right.
yeah, I ain't tripping, man. I'm loving it week by week. It's an honor, it's a privilege, it's a blessing to see you and to talk this topic with you and the
Right.
many different areas of this topic, man. But yeah, let's get into it because I know Faith is home today. So I know she went to go pick up Mason. I think that's what she went to do because I seen her pull out a little while ago. So I know when she comes back, she's gonna look for the time. You feel me?
So you better get this over. You better get it done.
Let's,
Get it
let's,
done.
let's get it doing. Let's get it doing. Shouts out to Breathe University, man. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. Y'all hear me say it week after week, man. Breathe University has gone to a new level in 2019 with all new 1% Club, 1% Business, and Inner Circle programs by Dr. Eric Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're looking to take your execution, life, or business to the next level and live like the top 1%ers, we have an option to suit every person and every budget. I promise you, there's on demand video courses, mastermind calls, exclusive communities, live events for you to attend, and countless resources. So, man, for real, enjoy access to step by step worksheets, a whole bunch of stuff that'll just help you move to the next level in your business life and relationships. Um, Man, one of the things that I'm really appreciative of now, man, the whole DISC assessment thing based on, I think you're familiar with it, D. I went ahead and got certified in that area, man. It is one of the things that have literally and is continuing to literally change my life. I'm understanding a lot more who I am, how I'm wired, when to dial up, when to dial down, when to adapt, who I am naturally. And it's doing wonders, not only for my relationship, but in every relationship that I'm a part of. And I'm thankful for that. And now we're helping other people do that as well. You know, sometimes as a flamingo, like for real, you could just do the most, you know what I'm saying? Or like my wife, she can just be too detailed sometimes. And so
Mm.
we're learning a whole lot about that. So yeah, man, not to be long winded. If you want to become better, like you heard us say, stop by breatheuniversity.com for more information. Yeah.
Word up. Word up. Well,
Uh,
this program is brought to you by Audible. Get your 30-day free trial and free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/marriage with more than 180,000 titles from which to choose for your Android, iPhone, Kindle,
mhm,
MP3 player. But you know what? Oh, no, I'll wait till I'm done with this.
mhm.
I'll wait till I'm done with this. Yeah, go ahead and download whatever you want to hear from that, massive library, and let us know what you have downloaded so that we can enjoy it too. That's www.audibletrial.com/marriage.
Yep.
Yeah, what I wanted to say, I just didn't want to mix it up into that because I didn't want to diss Audible, but I was about to say something about the Huawei devices, because I got one, a nice phone.
Oh,
But
word?
because of the little tiff that the US and China are having against each other,
Uh,
it's about to be not available, like on the Wow, you know what I'm saying? Because they got a beef and they can't resolve it, and that's going to leave a lot of us high and dry, man.
it's getting out of
It's
control too.
ridiculous, man.
It's getting out of control.
And I don't even live in America, B. I don't have no intention of living in America.
Yep.
And I'm still taking the beat. I'm going to take a beating over this if they don't get this resolved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, just
Yeah.
figured I'd mention that, but not right in the middle of the,
Oh yeah, no doubt. And we're trying to get as you said what you said a while ago too, D. We want everybody to stop by the podcast, man, and like for real, just leave us a review. We're trying to get these reviews up.
Yeah.
We'd like to hear from you, man. So as you go and you check those books out, for real, drop there in the review what it is that you went ahead and got. Remember, if you use that link that we just gave you, you know what I'm saying? The first book is free. Free 99.
Free 99.
You can't beat free, D. Word up. You can't
Real
beat
talk.
free. So,
Real
yeah,
talk.
man. Yep. So yeah, D. I want to jump into it today. A lot of the times we talk about marriage and we talk about relationships, and even in our intros, we're talking about sex, money, love,
Sex,
finances.
murder.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And a lot of the times we talk about it just with the two individuals, but I just want to talk about it a little bit more from the family dynamic, if you will, and how it affects the marriage relationship. What am I talking about? About blended families,
Mhm.
which is something that I'm experiencing right now. And the funny thing about the blended family, D, is that, like, for real, when you form a blended family, everybody has stake. Everybody has to make a decision that as we form this blended family, that we're going to work together, you know what I'm saying, in order to achieve whatever you believe success to be in that blended family. It's
Yeah.
kind of and I got every dynamic in this blended family. So I have a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
It is a blended family. She's 16. And I got toddlers here as well. And you know what I'm saying? Like a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. And it's a very strange dynamic here. But we make it work. You know what I'm saying? And the complexity and the I'll just say complexity can be challenging at times, even with the interactions between the brother and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Because I got two. Let me tell you something. Nico and Mason can be as cantankerous as they want to be sometimes. Little Mason, he is very inquisitive and into everything. So he spilled makeup before and gotten into stuff he ain't supposed to get into. You feel me?
He spilled the makeups.
Yeah, and so his sister is very understanding, and she's very much, she's like very protective of the two of them, but they can indeed get on her nerves.
Of course, that's their
Sometimes.
job.
That's
Yeah.
their job. But I realize that just as much as they get on her nerves, that she can get on our nerves just as much as well.
Okay.
Yep. And so it's kind of strange where we are right now, and I'm dealing with a little bit, and I won't go into too much detail because it's not only me that I'm talking about, but she is 16 and she's now been, let me see, February, March, April, May. I would say she's been living with us now for about a year and 4 months, going on 5 months now. And there are some, things that come along with the dynamic, and I'm liking it. And hopefully some of the stuff that we'll share today, or some of the stuff that I choose to be transparent about, will help other blended families navigate through some of the difficulties. Number one, D, I think one of the things that I've done is Faith and I have declared to one another, or she has declared to me, because Zoe is my biological daughter, but but it's her daughter, but not by blood, because she doesn't like to she referred to her from time to time, but she was like, steps are something that you climb in your house. She's my daughter. You know what I'm saying? She may not be my blood daughter, but I'm her second mother, if you will.
Yeah.
And she's done everything that to exhibit, you know what I'm saying, that sentiment. Like, I remember when Zoe first came here, she sat her down, asked her what you want in your room, and like, without asking me anything, just went ahead and did what a mother would do. Got her, her bedroom suit, and this for her room and that for her room, whatever the case may be. We're in a strange dynamic though, because of course, when parents divorce, it can weigh on a child depending on the upbringing. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And well, before we even go deeper into it, D, why don't you speak from that perspective, like the effects of divorce on a child? Because you may not experience the blended family piece too much, but you can definitely speak to the effects that it has, and in terms of development and growing up and where you are right now as an adult.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I never liked my dad, but I can understand as an adult now that whenever my parents got divorced, dude, I was a little dude at 13 thinking this is great, but I got a lot of gaps in my development because the male component was not present, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And not only was it not present, but my mom was like, I don't need nothing from you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a mistake. No diss
Mm-hmm.
to my mom. I'm just saying that was a mistake. Even though the little boy that don't know no better was like, I don't want nothing to do with that dude. Right. It was a mistake. My dad is dead now. So, don't bother text. You could fix it now. That ain't gonna happen. Right.
Yeah.
But the whole point is when the family is out of balance with one person one of the vital persons missing, not third cousin Lily.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about one of the parents is out of queue.
Yeah.
And then the two of them don't get along on top of that.
Yeah.
Then you have this guy swimming upstream. In my case, I won't even talk about my sister, but me swimming upstream trying to figure life out.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually now I'm having a child. Yes, it was late in my 30s, but still there's some things that I didn't see modeled. You see, there's some things that I didn't see that I enjoyed that I can pass on in terms of legacy.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and so just on the strength of that, that's not even talking about children who loved both parents, and now they're in a position where they have to choose.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So I mean, there's a ton of things, but that's just kind of the preliminary stuff for me.
And I think it's the same for me, D, because when Zoe was born, I was in my late 30s. But I think because I always believed that I didn't develop at the same speed as most children. And when I say develop, I'm not talking about being cool or being able to navigate. I'm talking about, like, for real, with life skills and things that I should have learned for relationship. Like, I never learned. There was nobody who really taught me. Okay, I learned that from my boys.
Same thing.
Feel me?
Yeah.
Like, you remember Mike and Kurt? It was like the Three Musketeers. Like,
same ages. We the same age.
All of us. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so I think that's the way that I learned it. And so I had to learn some painful lessons. I experienced sex before I was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? You hear like, oh, you shouldn't do it till marriage. You're like, get out of here. This chick over here feeling me. And there was nobody to really rear me or guide me. And you hear it from women sometimes, but it's a total, or you hear it in church, but it's a whole different thing when you hear it from women as opposed to the man that is really supposed to walk you through this or teach you about this. And of course we had dudes in our lives because we had friends like Nash and Yolanda. We had like Brother Neves and Brother Hunt. You know what I'm saying? But they never really had those in-depth. Nobody had those in-depth conversations with us. And I think people just knew we was out there doing our thing, but nobody took it upon themselves to have those kind of conversations with us. And I kind of wish the stuff that we're sharing through our podcast now, that somebody shared this stuff with us back then. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So of course, it's kind of the kind of things where you learn as you grow, and as you learn when you grow, and you learning through life as you go. It can be a painful thing from time to time because you learning by experience, and nobody ain't giving you a heads up. So if the stove is hot and you don't know the stove is hot, you're about to touch it to find out, and when you do, you get burned. You feel me?
That's not an experience you want to have.
Yeah, nah. And so I, you know what I'm saying, tried to build a relationship based on some physical stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know no better. Not giving or taking anything away from my partner. I'm just saying that I didn't have core values in the beginning. Neither did I have a value system. And I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just telling you the way that it happened. Yep. And so, Zoe was born in the middle of all of that. And it caused her to be in a place sometimes where she felt like she was in between. And then, of course, based upon the lifestyle that she came up in, and I'm not saying that or putting her mother's lifestyle down. I'm just saying that it's not the lifestyle that I lived. You know what I'm saying? I live a totally different lifestyle. But now that she's here with us, it's kind of a little bit of a struggle. Why? Because you're coming into a two-parent home as opposed to a one-parent home, right? Where you used to be the focus of attention as it relates to, well, of course you got brothers and sisters as well, but the focus of attention now, because there isn't another parent in that home, and you're coming into a dynamic where you're starting to see marriage and how it should work now, and that my wife is my first priority, that in and of itself presents an issue and a problem.
You better ask.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that is one of the first dynamics that I would like to touch, because like for real, D, in blended families, right, where a child is used to you already had to deal with your mother being over here and your father being over here. Now I got to come into a blended family and watch your spouse become your number one priority. But guess what? That's the way that it is, and that's the way that it works. Now, granted, it's going to be for some people. Now, for those of you who have, or for those, D, who have had like for real, a seamless transition, or for those children who have a certain level of maturity, blessings on you and continued blessings on you. But for those of us who, like for real, Zoe, I love her to death. It's my seed, but she just has a certain level of entitlement. And she has this idea that now I got to come in here and your wife is your priority and I'm not your priority. And she has this mindset of the firstborn and all of that other stuff. But I'm also realizing, D, that we have titles in the relationships.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Right.
All right. So what do you say to the titles of mother, father, sister, brother, all those different things?
What do I say to them?
Yeah, like if you have a title, I'm just saying that I believe that there should be responsibilities for every title. Because she came at me like, well, I'm your firstborn. Okay, well, what does firstborn actually mean?
Yeah, if you really look up what the firstborn has, more responsibility, not more privileges.
Yeah,
more responsibility.
Absolutely.
Especially where we grew up. Like if you grew up anywhere near any one of the hoods we was in or near to, yo, you might have a child at 8 taking care of a bag of kids, an 8-year-old, easy.
Because mom's got to work.
And it's not unusual because mom's got to work.
She got to work.
Yeah, I didn't have that. I mean, I had my sister. My dad lived there, of course. My mom's was there. But my neighbor across the street had the full hood rat thing. He was a pimp. His one of his wives was a prostitute. And then the next woman that wasn't his wife was also a prostitute, one of his prostitutes. And both of them were drug addicts. So who did they send to the store with the little baby on their hip? That would be me. Yo, shorty, go get some Lucy's for us. What's the Lucy? Cigarettes.
Yeah.
Minor baby boy carrying an infant girl to the store on the corner to go buy cigarettes. And did they sell it? Yes, at Darden's, they did sell it. Yes.
But they did it during that time because they knew it wasn't the kids. They knew it was the parents that was sending them out. It was just understood. Kids wasn't smoking like that. I mean, there were probably one or two, but it wasn't like that back then.
Nah, you know you were giving it to whoever sent you here with the little baby. Yeah. So if she were to understand, I know we use a little bit of the negative hood flow in it, but if she were to understand firstborn means first responsibility. First one to take care of everybody. First one to deny self because everybody else, because you like pseudo parent. My sister was that in my house. She was like my mother. She's only 7 years older than me, bro.
Yep.
But Lisa was like my mom's, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let her get a wind of that and see if she's still on that. I'm your firstborn.
Yeah.
I'm your firstborn.
Yeah. Like my sister, I'm only 4 years older than my sister, but my grandmother went to work. My mother went to work. And guess who during the summertime was left at home by themselves? Like, and I knew how to lock the door and keep the door locked. And we would be in the house watching TV all day long until they got home. And then we went outside. We was free to go outside and go hang out, ride bikes, go up to 181 and play ball, whatever. And I remember being 10, 11, 13, 15. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, taking care of my sister until they got home. You know what I'm saying? I knew how to scramble eggs on the stove. You know what I'm saying? I knew how to make a sandwich.
Put that bologna in the pot.
Come on. Take the outside red off from around the bologna. Come on. I knew how to fry it too. Fry bologna sandwiches. You know how I go already.
Oh, good.
You feel me? Yeah. We knew how to do that. And we had a certain level of responsibility. And I think that this day and age, children want, and when I say children, I'm talking about children who are old enough to, and even younger children, because I see it in Nico sometimes too. They want all of what it looks like, but they don't want what it feels like.
Yeah, well, that TV taught them something different, man. That TV and the internet taught them something that ain't so, man. And that's what happens.
Well, and that's the thing that we deal with here is that my daughter loves being able to say I'm the firstborn, but doesn't want the responsibilities. And in no relationship, let me just put that out there, and you can tell me how you feel about it, D. But whether your relationship is relational, platonic, romantic, like in no relationship does one person take on the responsibilities of both people in the relationship.
Nah,
right?
nah.
Yeah.
Then one is expendable. Why you need two people?
Yep. So then it becomes like you're expecting what? And you're not doing what? So of course, with those relationships in the blended family dynamic, it causes some challenges. But the thing that I love the most is that my wife is taking on the mindset of, okay, we are one.
Yeah.
And she's constantly in that place of we are one. And I praise God for her, man.
Or
I'm telling you, I don't know a woman who can walk in my wife's shoes as it relates to me.
keep the faith.
And so, yeah, shouts out to her, man. I love her with everything I got. But she'll regularly say, well, this is not just your problem. This is our problem or our issue. You know what I'm saying? Or our, whatever you want to call it, to navigate through. And we've literally sat down from time to time and discussed, whether it be during a conversation or during pillow talk, as to how we need to go about and handle it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes she's even stepped in and had. So we're pretty much the united front.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the part that I appreciate the most, is that for real, we're a united front. Now, in some families,
Not so much.
Yeah. And I want to say this first and foremost. In order for you to navigate through the difficulties of a blended family, the husband and wife must be one. They must be a united front. They must hold each other outside of God as the number one priority.
Yeah, I think the Brady Bunch was like that. You could say TV, but I'm just saying they portray all kind of rubbish on TV, but the Brady Bunch seemed like they kind of had that figured out.
Yep. And here's the funny thing about it too. They didn't put okay, so let me speak to it, because there's a couple of families that are doing it. There's a wife who's putting the son or the daughter ahead of her husband. There is a husband who's putting the daughter or the son ahead of his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you that your spouse is feeling it. They're not liking it. And if you haven't already started experiencing the difficulties or challenges that come associated with it, you're going to start experiencing it. And once you do, you're going to have to make some corrections quick, fast.
Not nice.
Why? Because they're feeling it. And I know, like, I've heard my daughter mention it to her mother, that, he always says that, God is first, his wife is second, and everything else after. And she's saying it out of context because she's not getting what she wants. And that's another thing as well. In a blended family, right, where these kind of things happen, and I'm praising God too, D, because not only am I one with my wife, which I need to be, this is the first time, that her mother and I have been talking the way that we talk right now. I'm talking about becoming one accord as it relates to her and the results that we want in terms of her development. When I tell you this is big and only God could do something like this, I'm telling you this is big and only God can do something like this.
Enough said.
Not only that, so not only do you have to be on one accord with your spouse, right? Because that's the one that you are one flesh with. But as it relates to the daughter, the son, whatever child that is a part of your blended family, you have to be on one accord with their parent as well. And she and I've made some decisions. Usually she's here, she gets to go home for summertime, but we've made some decisions between the two of us. Like when things didn't work out the way that she wanted them to work out here, now that she's here, I've been entertaining going back to live with mommy. And I'm like, that's not an option. It's not an option.
This is great, yo.
No, that's not an option. And here's the funny thing. In a lot of situations, the parent on the other side would have been like, okay, yeah.
Flip out.
Come on back. But and that's what I expected, to be honest with you, from her mom. But her mom has stood true. Her mom has, like, for real, we are literally like achieving one accord as it relates to those. She's like, I said it then, and I'll say it again. I'm not playing games with her. You will not do the flip flop. I said that the day she decided to leave, and until high school is done, she will stay there and finish high school. And now, man, I'm so thankful, because what it does now is it puts her in a position where you have nowhere to run. And now what you're telling mom on one side and telling me on the other side is now coming together now. And you have now the conversations are, okay, well, what did your father say? Well, let me talk to your father. Put your father on the phone. And I'm doing it on the same side over here. Yeah, I see you. Jump in here, D.
That's like one of my peoples, man. Two of my peoples got married.
Mm-hmm.
One of the people jumped out, was like, I'm done for nearly nothing. And when you hear the stories, they're congruent. Same stories, but it was nearly nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And my man went home, grown man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you should not have opened your house to this big grown man who jetted from his marriage just because.
Yeah.
You should have been like, you want something to drink? You hungry? You want to talk? All right, holla, bye. You got to go.
Yeah.
You're not staying here.
Absolutely.
Going back to your family, bro. Get it worked out. Holla.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's not heartless. You grown, man. And y'all not having no fight. Nobody pulling no guns. You're not even arguing. You just decided you don't like this no more.
Yep.
And then you go, no, this is not a safe haven. This is not a sanctuary city.
Yeah, no.
You can't live here.
Yep.
No. Go on back home and work it out.
Yep. And here's the funny thing too. Sometimes when you deal with children who are maneuvering through, because she spent the majority of her time with her mom, it's been about 7 years ago since we've been here. I got you. And because of that, she's having to maneuver through the years that she's missed out with me. I've kept in contact with her. We have regular visits. I'd go down to Atlanta, pick her up, take her here, and then take her back to Atlanta. But it's not the 24/7, 365 kind of setup, right?
No.
So now she's trying to make up for that time. And I'm actually having to discipline, to coach, to train, to coach all in one time. As opposed to breaking them up between a thing. And that can be difficult as well. But as you parents are navigating through, and as you children, I don't know if there are any children listening through, what I'm learning the most, D, is that number one, you have to put your spouse as the number one, outside of God, as the number one priority. In addition to that, you have to be on one accord. Both parents have to be on one accord as well. So in other words, the parent that is wherever they are,
both sets of parents.
Both sets of parents have to be on one accord. And and here's the funny thing, as we're on one accord, for real, shouts out to Zoe's mother. I promise you, I have a newfound respect for her, because she's never gotten on and disrespected my wife. They've spoken to each other once or twice, but we are finally in a position now. And I think it's because of the decisions that Faith and I have made in terms of our spirituality, our connection with God, our praying over the situation that has allowed us to be in connection with, and we've even prayed for her mom as well, that have allowed us to be in this position. And I'm not taking credit for it, because I didn't do nothing other than be obedient to some stuff. I'm just saying that for those of you who are experiencing this blended family issue, you're going to have to, first of all, self-assess. You're going to have to fix your thinking. In other words, change your philosophy as to not only how you handle this, but how you think about your child's mother or father, whether you're the mother or father, right? And then you're going to have to make the adjustments. And then and only then will you experience some kind of growth. So yeah, D.
Word up. Yeah, man. If I say anything else, I'll just start a new conversation. So y'all heard it here first. And we got position for growth, man. Let's grow together. Let's go.
Man, please stay focused.
There you have.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all.
Yep. You don't know all the thing already. Blessings all upon my life, and Yo, I'm telling you, that's my theme music right now.
Which one? Your theme
Coffee.
music is like how much
Coffee.
themes music you got, bro?
I got theme music here. Yo, you remember what's the name of the movie? Oh man. What's the name of the movie? And KRS-One met him at the end and he was like, yo, what's that? He was like, that's my theme music. Every superhero should have one.
I live under a
And they
rock.
played the Jack of Spades. What's the name of the movie, man? It's an old school spoof movie.
Oh, mm.
The movie when my man came out. I'm gonna get you, sucker. That's the name of the movie. When my man came
Oh.
out and he had
I remember that title, but I don't remember if I
the
saw that.
goldfish in the shoes. It came out and they was laughing my man to scorn. Yeah.
Yeah, you got me, bro. You got me. I remember that title though. I do remember that title.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well,
yeah, y'all. So thanks for joining us. I think every
as always,
quest got somewhere to go, got something to do, people to see, places to go, people to see, things to do.
I think it's the wifey that's gonna be the places to go and people to see and things to do.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
No. Not like
say that.
No, I'm just saying she's occupying the time of the kid this evening. She stayed home today, so I'm gonna chill out in the backyard with her. Well, actually, I probably need to go get Mason because, yeah. And then when I come back, we're gonna sit and chill. Yes, yes.
All right, y'all. So you heard it here first. We're out of here.
Peace.